Good morning, selamat pagi, magandang umaga, sawadee ka. I am Lee Chiu, the Managing Director for ASEAN at Amazon Web Services Worldwide Public Sector, and welcome to Initiate ASEAN. We are delighted to have you join us today. Let me start off by thanking our sponsors who are a part of an important community to make cloud accessible for all. These sponsors offer services and expertise that can accelerate your cloud transformation journey and help you realize your mission. I encourage you to explore our breakout sessions and visit our partner showcase to learn more about their capabilities. I also invite you to take this opportunity to learn, explore, and be inspired to innovate everywhere. Last year, more than ever, we have had to rethink the way we learn, work, and play against a fast evolving pandemic. Successful organizations are the ones that embrace change and the possibilities that it provides. There are many different drivers for organizations to initiate a journey with AWS. Pre-COVID, the journey to the cloud might have been driven by costs, data center consolidation, or technology refresh. But the conversation has changed. In coping with the pandemic, government and citizens have seen how cloud and digital technology allow government to quickly stand up services to serve millions of citizens, to enable remote learning and remote work. As people and businesses seek to return to a new normal, governments and organizations focus their efforts to be mission ready, to build resilience, to modernize, and to deliver richer customer experiences. They need to leverage technology to connect people, services, and businesses quickly and effectively, and use real-time insights to optimize processes and workflows to deliver outcomes for the constituents that they serve. In the new normal, building a sustainable path to achieve resilience is important. Innovations and new business models are the foundations for this digital transformation journey. The benefits and capabilities of the cloud, with the enhanced security it offers, create an agile and trusted business environment that are cornerstones for change. Many of our Southeast Asia customers and governments have announced plans to look at national digital roadmap and plans to speed up digital transformation initiatives in order to increase effectiveness of public services and also, at the end of the day, to build more resilience. The rollout of 5G, delivering higher data speeds, ultra-low latency capabilities with increased reliability and also massive network capacity will additionally provide countries with digital connectivity and robustness of infrastructure to build smart cities and smart solutions for these cities. To build greater resilience and pave the way to economic recovery, public sector customers have seen the need to move fast as they meet increasing expectations of citizens for quicker communications. They are recognizing the benefit of an agile platform that provides flexibility to scale as demands evolve, and the need to think big, to work around the constraints of the legacy IT infrastructure and truly leverage technology to enable missions and the importance of continuous innovation. They've also seen the power of ideation and iterative experimentation in key areas like health and education. Many are looking at transformative ways of delivering services for the citizens, innovating learning experiences, and reimagining the next generation of online learning and campus management. Health service providers are looking at connecting doctors to patients via virtual healthcare and telemedicine, redefining possibilities in that way in integrated care. Digital innovations will deliver an inclusive economy that enrich citizens. Urbanization can create great opportunities for social mobility for both men and women. A well-managed city can spur economic development by developing capabilities to deal with all stages of the threat cycle and build resilience in dealing with socio-economic effects of the pandemic. In fact, IDC predicts that by 2023, 35% of governments globally will invest in containerization, cloud usage monitoring, and federated identity management to deploy services seamlessly in the cloud environment. and deliver impactful citizen services that meet national agendas that aim to uplift the quality of living for communities. In October of last year, I had the opportunity to chair an Analyst Roundtable with several ASEAN customers. At that forum, I remember we talked about 3 key focus areas for successful government digital transformation: cloud adoption, workforce development, and change management. The first focus area we talked about was cloud adoption. Cloud technology will be the backbone infrastructure for smart solutions and sustainable cities of the future. The collection, integration, and analysis of an ever-increasing volume of data, the connectivity to smart devices and IoT sensors, providing timeliness in decision processes and the ability of AI ML tools to model trends to shape business strategies will all contribute towards building an inclusive, enabling, and responsive digital economy. The ASEAN Digital Master Plan 2025 outlines the region's strategy towards becoming both a digital economy and a digital society, driving a vision with ubiquitous connectivity throughout ASEAN. And in all of this, cloud can be an accelerator to achieving this vision. Next, workforce development. Building digital skills and a future-ready workforce are key enablers to digital transformation. Across ASEAN, organizations are bridging the digital skills gap with multiple approaches. First, bringing back talents who are living abroad. Second, training and developing tech interest in young people and providing in-depth technology-focused training. And thirdly, partnering big tech firms to train and reskill existing workforce. The key message here is people and talent bring sustainability. As we enter the fourth industrial revolution, where we incorporate artificial intelligence and machine learning, the Internet of Things, and advanced data systems that enable real-time and predictive analytics have capabilities to leverage these tools, and these would be key. Along with training, jobs need to be changed and designed accordingly to meet the present and future needs. Finally, change management. For any transformation, resistance to change is one of the biggest challenges in digital transformation by public sector customers. Customers have told us that their successful digital transformation journey through the adoption of cloud comes down to people, culture, and a clear transformation agenda. A key imperative for a successful transformation journey is a clear vision that sets the direction on how the city, the province, or the nation can be aligned to move to the cloud. And that builds the right culture for change. Today, many governments have adopted the role of Chief Digital Strategy Officers, who are senior executives suitably trained on how technology can be used to solve problems. This approach supports the change management and drives the pace of change. With outcomes to build a sustainable economy and community that benefits the citizens, organizations need to have speed, scale, security, and resilience to innovate. Being on the cloud can help you achieve these outcomes. Speed and scale are long-term benefits for governments. Technology offers city leaders new ways to derive value from data to meet national agenda. Smart cities use data produced by internet-connected devices to derive insights and improve residents' quality of life, measured by health, work-life balance, maybe social connections, personal security, and subjective well-being. In disaster responses, information can mean the difference between life and death. We have been so impressed with our customers' efforts to move quickly in making a difference with cloud computing as they innovate, experiment, and also as they ideate everywhere in their journey to transform digitally. Here are some government agencies from state, central government, education, and healthcare organizations using cloud technology to address public challenges and also to build smart cities framework to address livability, workability, sustainability, and inclusivity in provisioning services to their constituents. Today, transformation are driven by mission owners identifying urgent business needs and working with their IT teams to innovate with the cloud. Let's listen to how Mr. Gurpardeep Singh, Chief Operating Officer of APIT Education Group, innovate with cloud.
Hello, I am Gurpardeep. I am from the Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation out here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I'm here to share our digital transformation journey with you. And I'm very happy to see everybody here today. I'm just going to go straight to introducing the institution first, who we are. We are about 28 years old. We are among Malaysia's top private universities with 12,000 plus students, more than half of them from other countries in the world, and one of Malaysia's key technology universities as well. Yeah, and we are a private university, not a government university. There are about 100 plus private universities in Malaysia, and we are among the top ones in this country. Yeah, just going straight away to our digital transformation story. I'd like to start off with the reasons why we had to go into a transformation journey. And apart from the fact that we had to do it, there are a number of key reasons that we had to make sure we were continuously focused on. As a private institution, it was important to continue to be competitive in a very competitive environment. So we had more than 500 institutions operating in this country, competing for students, and it is important that we are always ahead of competition. The second factor is, of course, sustainability. Again, like I said, we are not funded by the government. Everything that we earn comes from student fees. So we've got to make sure that we were continuously sustainable and optimized in our operations. The third very important factor is to ensure that we were able to retain students. Student retention is a major agenda among universities all over the world, and no different here. We had to make sure that we could provide a much better user experience to keep them with us at all times. And finally, agility. It is important as an industry to become agile, because honestly, education has not really gone through true disruption, and we knew that it was a time when we had to really face a disruptive event, as we had gone through during the pandemic. Yeah, so just to start off with, 5 years ago, this was our architecture, and you can see various building blocks put together that have been developed over the years, not talking very well to each other, operating in very much an on-prem infrastructure, not providing the type of performance and reliability that one would expect. So what we set out to do was to try to think about what we needed to do with this. And we started looking at several frameworks. One of the very useful frameworks that we used was one put forward by Gartner. It gave you an overall holistic view about what we needed to do with our systems and our architecture to address all the elements of this business of higher education. This is a very useful framework, and I would recommend that you look at this, yeah, if you are on this journey as well. So out of this came out our strategies, and we came up with a slogan, so to speak, called Lean, Secure, and Interoperable. And that drove everything that we did, yeah. So as a set of objectives, I don't want to go through the whole list here, but the key points, we wanted to transform our user experience. We wanted to make sure that we could provide improved reliability and redundancy, improve availability to use data for analytics, and overall reduce total cost of ownership as well. Yeah. So out of these objectives, we also started talking about strategies. What did we need to do to achieve these objectives? And this is what we settled on, yeah, as a set of strategies. Now, key among this is the cloud. And we knew that we had to move towards the cloud and make sure that we operate within the cloud to take advantage of not just the infrastructural benefits that it provides, but also the rich range of services that you have access to on the cloud as well. And for this, we are very, very glad that we had AWS with us from the beginning, partnering with us, working with us, guiding us, and supporting us. And today we are also an AWS consulting partner for the public sector, and I think we'll do a lot more work with AWS going forward to further transform our systems here. But apart from the cloud, we also moved into an agile development methodology. We also focus on API-driven application development, hybrid development, and also ensured that we could continuously enhance our own infrastructure on campus as well. So step by step, from what I showed you earlier, the first step was to deploy some applications onto the cloud while we reduce our on-prem data center size. Started working a lot more in developing mobile responsive apps as opposed to the traditional web-based portals that we had. So what we had as a first stage was moving from the portal that you see on the left-hand side, which was our legacy portal, very web-based, and then moving to a mobile responsive page, but then ultimately doing what we wanted to do, which is to create a digital companion on the mobile devices itself, which we called our own app space. So this is probably one of the most advanced mobile portals or mobile apps for students that we've seen in this country. It addresses the students' needs from end to end, whether it's about their schedule, it's about their finance, it's about their travel, their profile, whatever they spend in the cafeteria and spent in, and how they purchase stuff in the shops as well, their teaching and learning material, their lecturers, communicating with the lecturers as well. So it is a true digital companion, which we are still continuing to develop further as we discover more and more things that the students would like to do with it. So this is something that is the center of everything that has revolved around our digital transformation. Yeah, and we also worked a lot to automate our workflow, and we use online forms and also robotic process automation at the back to automate workflow as well. There's very little that is done manually these days, and we are continuing to enhance the efficiency of these processes through these mechanisms. So starting from where we were, this is what I showed you earlier, this is where we are now. Well, not now, but at the end of 2019 and early 2020. And we were fully, mostly deployed on the cloud. Our on-prem data center had reduced to a level where we were just using it to support our local needs, our local classroom requirements and labs and so on and so forth. And everything was operating on the cloud, talking to each other and using services that we were able to deploy very quickly to ensure that we could enhance end user experience. Yeah, and mind you, like I said, this was just before 2019, 2020, at the end of 2019, in fact, right, when we had this. Yeah, and through this we have been able to achieve a tremendous enhancements in performance and also in reliability, as you can see in some of these statistics. But as you know, in early 2020, or rather in March 2020, we had the pandemic and the lockdowns that came along with it. And higher education in particular was very affected because immediately staff and students couldn't come to campus. And we had to quickly get into three key strategies. One is to preserve our revenue streams, keep our current students with us, revive our ability to recruit new students, and also manage costs. And thankfully, because of our strategies, because of the transformation that we've been embarking on, we were able to pivot into this sort of strategies very, very seamlessly. So as far as our students are concerned, because of the access to the digital companion and the access to all the services that they had from the cloud, we were able to create an environment in which students didn't really feel that they were missing out from being on campus. So in terms of teaching and learning, we were able to support it quite well. And students were able to obtain online services and online support very seamlessly through the devices that they had. So this is a major success, as I would say, as a result of our digital transformation. Yeah. So just to put things into perspective, there are a number of lessons that we have learned, and we continue to learn as part of this journey that I would like to share with you. The most important thing is that all of this depend on people. Yeah. People are at the center of everything that we do here. This notion about the university knows best and we will deploy what we know best for you doesn't work anymore. You've got to talk to your users, talk to your students, talk to your staff continuously to find out what would make their life easier, what would enhance their experience with us, and then deploy the applications that meet their needs. And that's a continuous process. Yeah. So building trust and empowering our staff and students. The other element was to also move towards a more DevOps and agile development frameworks, focus on serverless architectures that operate very well on the cloud, and don't reinvent the wheel. Use what's available. There's a rich set of services on the cloud which we should be able to leverage on, and that's what we continuously try to do. Yeah, keeping everything small and manageable is very important. Making sure everything is documented, but more importantly, foster a culture of experimentation. Allow your staff, your development staff, to try and then fail, try and fail. until they find a solution that truly meets the requirements. This is how it's got to be, because the way technology is evolving, you've got to continuously find the right solution, right? And as long as it doesn't take too long, you've got to encourage them to try. Similar to a startup environment, yeah? Try something and then fail and then quickly come up with something much better. But overall, I would say that it's very important for, in our case, in our development team, 90+% of them are actually our own students who come through our system and who join our development team. And that's very important, because there's no better people to understand what students need than students themselves. So that's our experience. I hope that you've been able to benefit somewhat from what I've shared with you. I would love to hear from you if you've got any questions. So thank you very much for listening.
Now we've talked about the importance of digital transformation. Let's hear from Dr. Aswami Arifin, Senior Vice President and also the Cyber Forensic Scientist from Cybersecurity Malaysia, speak about how they are transforming and leveraging the cloud to provide world-class security.
I'm Aswami Arifin. I'm the Senior Vice President of Cybersecurity Responsive of Cybersecurity Malaysia. Just a bit of introduction of our services. If you are aware of Cyber 999 or MyCert, so it's under my division, and we have another department. We call it Digital Forensics Department, rendering or giving assistance to the law enforcement agencies. And we have cyber threat intelligence, and the other department is my IT department. So in this particular presentation, first of all, I would like to thank AWS for this invitation. So it is just to share on our project, whereby we call it Security Operation Center. I would like to share on Cybersecurity Malaysia, the vision and mission. So we are the National Specialist Agency. We are mandated to look into cyber attacks, anything got to do with cyber kind of attacks or any issue with regard to cyber. Apart from that, we also provide other services that I've mentioned earlier, forensics, cyber threat intelligence, and at the same time, we are being given the responsibility to look into capacity and capability building. As you would see from my presentation here, so Malaysia, as with any other country, we are pushing a lot since COVID-19. So it has a negative and positive kind of effect, whereby the government is putting a lot of effort to push the economy so that we embrace the digital, the technology such as the cloud, so that things can be done efficiently. So in terms of cloud deployment or any adoption of technology, there's always a risk. For example, like malware infection. I believe the audience, you have heard about ransomware infection. So we have a very good system or tools to be able to assist us. I call Cybersecurity Malaysia, or even my team here, as a cyber frontliners, because if things happen, so we have to go on site to be able to address any incidences or even cases. So we are trying to, in a way, mitigating the risk, and by using certain analytics, for example, like from the cloud service provider, then we'll be able, hopefully, to prevent some of the incidences. And based on our experience, 30% incidences or cases can be prevented if we are using the technology. I would like to share in terms of 3 processes altogether to focus on people, because even though you are using technologies and whatnot for efficiency, or the tools to assist in making decisions or certain things to be done immediately, and even with a good process, at the end of the day is the people. The people is very important. So I've given, as you can see from my slide, the acronym. We call it cyber fit. That means the people we need to be, we have to involve them in trainings. For example, like in cybersecurity Malaysia, we have a scheme. We call it a Global ACE scheme. This is being recognized at national level and also at international level. So we provide trainings, trainings in malware eradication, digital forensic, and so many other courses available. So we need people to be cyber fit, not only at CSM level, but this is a collaborative, or this is something that we have to work as a team. So other experts or professionals from other organizations can enroll into our training courses, and at the end of the day, they have to go through exams, and they are certified. So I go to the next pillar of things to be done at a very strategic level. So apart from having good staff or technical people, so you have to have a very good processes. So for example, like I'm gonna share on one particular project. This is very important in Malaysia, and for cybersecurity Malaysia, project budgeted given to us. So we have to resolve malware infection in Malaysia, as happen in other countries, and there's a lot of infection. The cyber criminals, they are using malicious software as a tool to intrude into the system, and one particular or classical example is the ransomware. So there's a lot of variant in terms of malicious software. Then as I mentioned earlier, ransomware is one particular example. As you can see on this framework is in accordance to a standard. That means if you pick up 17025 or even ISMS, Information Security Management System, 27001. So all these write up, or all these policy, process, and procedure is according to the standard. So whenever stakeholder, they ask whether our journey of doing things, so it is in accordance to a standard. And the same thing, the people is being trained as if they are going to be a practitioner in the future. So with the technical skill set, it is very important. So next, this is, I think, to complement the people and processes, very important nowadays because of the journey embarking into digital economy. So cloud services is very important, whereby it helps you in terms of doing your things. For example, like the operation, it can push your operation standard to a certain level. So this is a concept diagram. This is the initial thoughts that being brainstormed. So as I mentioned earlier, that I wanted to share about security operation centers is something like a cyber fusion center. So there's a lot of data collection, security data collection. For example, like logs from firewall, logs from other security appliances. That is benefiting to this operation. So we collect a lot of data, and all this data is being used to do some kind of analysis. As you can see that from the methodology just now, the most important part after doing the collection, after preserving the evidence, is to do the analysis. So with the analysis, you are able to do decision, to be able to do decision making and informed decision making. As you can see from the diagram here, we have two tier of team. The first one, we look into whether this is a genuine incident or not. So they will follow SLA based on the data collected, whether this is actions needs to be taken, and if there is a need to go in depth into certain incidences or cases. So the tier 2 or a group of second level people with certain or niche technical skill set, we'll be able to do further analysis. And at the end of the day, the objective of a security operation center is to be able to attend to incidences, to be able to mitigate and to be able to prevent. So we are using a lot of analytics, AI, and by using certain technology, for example, like certain feature extraction is being deployed to the cloud, and the cloud is readily available for you to utilize from altogether, as I mentioned about people, processes, and technology. So as you can see that the objective to lower down the level of infection, the high severity of infection can be attended to. For example, like advanced persistence threat, yeah. So we will be able to understand, to go to which IP, to which server, and immediately clean up the server. And as the end result, the number of infection is being lowered, and we are using a lot of technologies, and it can be pushed to the cloud. So it is the cloud is so flexible. You pay as per use. For example, like I mentioned here about total cost of ownership, the return of investment. You can see, it's very quick. The cost can be lowered down, and at the end of the day, you achieve your objective. For example, like cybersecurity Malaysia, our objective is to secure the cyber sphere of Malaysia. And in this particular example, I'm giving the malware infection, malicious software infection. So apart from other things, you have to do a lot of engagement. Just as a national specialist agency, engagement with the law enforcement agencies, and you build the trust. And at the end of the day, from a very strategic plan, in terms of budgeting, in terms of people, in terms of processes, all these things can be brought to the cloud. And at the same time, not only we are very operational as a practitioner, we are also a researcher, we are also architect, we are also a developer. The philosophical of DevSecOps can be can be materialized. As you can see that all this technology can be deployed efficiently in terms to assist the country in combating cybercrime. So I think that's it for now. I hope that I share the experience with the audience. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Aswami, for sharing the importance of security and how we can provide customers with distinct security capabilities on the cloud. There are so many possibilities with the cloud as you embark on your digital transformation journey. You are not alone as you brace ahead to map out how technology can help you redefine the next normal. Allow me to leave you with 3 thoughts. Build a digital transformation plan leveraging cloud. Assess your readiness to the cloud and pick the workloads to migrate and modernize to the cloud. Experiment and measure the outcomes. Do stay with us throughout the Initiate event and engage in live chats. We have interesting cloud computing topics that include security, migration, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. There are discussions on transformation and modernization to help you and your organization innovate everywhere and inspire you to think big to achieve your mission. We certainly hope you find today's content actionable and inspiring.